Night comes pretty fast in Hanoi. It's already pitch dark by 6:30 p.m. When night embraces the streets, lights come awake, and life begins again whole on the streets of the Old Quarter.
Now me, as a person who's just arrived in Hanoi and has lived in Hanoi for about a year, the Old Quarter is actually one of the places where I go to have a great cup of coffee or just to have a look at the life flow of Hanoians. But the thing about the Old Quarter is that its nightlife is amazing in the sense that it'll surprise locals and foreigners alike with, the forms of entertainment available and also the way people live here at night. So in this episode of Vietnam Discovery, we are going to join Jack, a British person who's been living in Hanoi for some time now, to check out the nightlife at the Old Quarter. So why don't you follow me?
As a reporter, I mainly came to Hanoi to witness firsthand the story of a rapidly emerging nation. I've been here 5 months now and can honestly say I've loved every minute, but I'm really eager to learn more.
Jack, this way. Hey, how are you?
Very well, Phoebe. How are you?
Good. Nice to see you again.
Thanks, how are you?
Good.
Yes.
So are you ready to discover the Old Quarter at night?
Wait.
Okay, but the first thing we need to do is actually to put your bike away because the Old Quarter is best if we walk.
Oh, really?
Yeah? So can I hop on so that I can show you?
When you get.
All right, let's go.
No.
Yes. Woo! Whoa!
We headed to our first location. It's one of the most well-known parks in Hanoi. And yes, it's located in the Old Quarter, and the home to budding amateur artists and dancers.
Watching the guys perform left me feeling massively entertained and slightly inferior at the same time. They clearly put a lot of work into honing their highly skilled moves. Unfortunately, I couldn't say the same.
Chào bạn, bạn nhảy rất đẹp. Thank you. Bạn có thể dạy người bạn nước ngoài này của mình cách nhảy của bạn được không? Ok, tôi có thể dạy cho bạn. Ok.
It was great fun though, and it's always nice to put a smile on the faces of the people watching. I like to think they were laughing with me. Party spirit here, and everyone just seems very happy to have a good time, whereas in London I think people may be a little bit more worried about looking cool perhaps. Obviously I'm not one of those people, but yeah, so they've got an image to keep up, so they're more reluctant to put themselves in situations like this. But the Vietnamese people, they just want to have fun and they just go for it.
What's the best way to enjoy the nightlife at the Old Quarter than to enjoy its delightful food and drinks? In fact, young Vietnamese people come to the quarter at night just to get a sip of a sugary type of drink. I'm taking Matt to Nha Tre Street.
Well, this is a great place to get a drink because, we have iced tea, we have lemon tea, we also have coffee on this stretch of street. It's really famous. So what do you want?
I think coffee sounds great.
Coffee?
Yeah.
Well, the street's coffee is actually, there's something special.
Tell me more.
I can make it magically appear. Do you believe it?
I'd love to see it.
Okay. Coffee! Ta-da! Wow! Em cảm ơn anh. Cảm ơn anh. All right, try some coffee.
Will do. Cheers.
Cheers. Good?
Just what I needed.
Yeah.
Coffee has been sold around Hanoi for decades. The city is quite famous for its iced coffee with condensed milk and even some exotic ones like egg coffee. Those types of coffee are often sold in stationary stalls or shops. This type of coffee selling on a mobile bike is actually rather new in the city.
And Arabica
Nguyen Duy Bio is the first seller to try it out, and he chose the Old Quarter to introduce his coffee, believing it will be welcomed by the local youths.
Basically, he has all his stuff. This is Arabica coffee.
Right.
It's made from the espresso machine that he already did, and he put it in the bottle. And then there's some milk, condensed milk,
Okay.
and there's some water, sugared water.
Sugared water. Is that hot or cold?
It's room temperature.
Room temperature. Tepid.
Exactly. And then in here, there is going to be ice.
The magic da.
The magic da. Yes,
Da.
that's what it is. Da, not da.
Da.
Da, exactly.
Okay, perfect.
And so yeah, you just measure the amount of quantities you like with this shot cup.
Yep.
Anh có thể là thử cho chúng em xem được không ạ?
So yes, the seller sells Vietnamese-grown Arabica coffee. As he said, the coffee is grown and harvested right in his hometown, which is the central highland province of Lâm Đồng. He wants to give his customers more choices and bring them closer to world coffee-loving trends.
Wow. Stick away. Cheers.
Cheers.
I really like it because it's what I'm used to drinking in England. So, I mean, having lived in Vietnam for about 8 months now, I've become quite used to the local coffee, which is the Robusta. But tasting this, it kind of reminds me of home, really. So it's a nice present.
To give Jack a better taste about what it's like to sell coffee on the streets, I asked Bio to let Jack borrow the bike.
Trade serves as the heartbeat of the Old Quarter, and you'll rarely walk a few metres without some enterprising hawker trying to entice you with their goods. But as every good salesman will tell you, it's vital to have a unique selling point. So I was hoping our Arabica brand would tempt passers-by to part with their hard-earned dong. This new bean of coffee, the Arabica, it's much nicer, more of a deep flavour to it, and a lot sweeter, a lot more of a kick. After some tough negotiations and a few sticky moments during the making, I managed to close my first sale, which did my confidence a world of good. And we have, Adam, 1 cup of coffee. What do you think?
He drinks coffee every day, my brother.
Now, from my limited Hanoi experience, I know for a fact you get a lot of ladies shopping on here on a Saturday night. So I think if I pitch my stall here, I should be able to get some business. Wish me luck. I then pitched up on a busy street corner, and in no time had a healthy queue of people eager to watch me spill the beans on our intriguing brand and make some funny faces while shaking the mix. A few people even asked for photos of the strange gangly white man shaking coffee in their face, but it was all in good humour, and before long I'd completely run out of supplies. One coffee, okay. Has to be the last one because I'm running out of coffee.
Coffee finished?
No, last one. I got one for you.
Yes.
Hey, how are we doing? Having quickly become the hottest coffee brand in the Old Quarter, I rushed back to share the good news and hand over our healthy profits. I made you a lot of money.
We're now headed to the most crowded spot in Hanoi, That Hien Street. And you'll be surprised that within the Vietnamese-sounding street are crowds of foreigners. This is where they go to get a sip of freshly brewed beer. That Hien Street has been turned into a strictly walking street since 2003. The street offers not only drinks, but also tons of food that visitors love to try. But despite it being so busy, the street and all of its shops, bars and pubs will have to close by midnight. Before midnight strikes, I decided to visit a popular bar among expats in Vietnam.
Hey!
Chào anh.
Chào em.
Anh khỏe không ạ?
Khỏe, cảm ơn.
Ciao, Ang. My name is Jack. Nice to meet you. How are you? You okay? When did you open the bar?
7 years ago.
7 years ago?
Yeah.
What inspired you to open the bar?
I liked it and then I opened it.
You liked it and you opened it?
Yeah, I like the bar, I enjoy the bar and I opened
Yeah.
it. 7 years ago when I opened the bar, I even don't know how is the bar. So
Yeah.
I just opened like the coffee. And then people come over and they ask for the beer and they ask for the mixed drink.
People like
and
to
then
drink.
I change a little bit, decoration to the bar. But I still keep the Vietnamese style.
Well, should we go and check it out?
You're welcome, please.
Brilliant, lead the way.
The bar is favored for its ethnic chill feel. The Vietnamese decorations and pub-like atmosphere makes the place a popular gathering for foreign expats and tourists.
The tasteful decorations really add another dimension to the bar and elevate it above your standard Old Quarter hangout. Mao has clearly gone to a lot of trouble to amass such a stunning collection of art over the years. The result is a bar which feels quite exotic, but remains grounded thanks to the familiar selection of drinks and the friendly people who sample them.
I think people are drawn in really, it's a bit like gravity. They feel compelled to keep going back to this place which has been enjoyed by generations and generations, and although it's seen a lot of differences over the years and has changed a lot, it still retains that kind of character and Hanoi spirit. So I think people want to go in and feed off that and they want to enjoy the buzz, and I think it's never going to lose that buzz.
This group consists of high school and university students. What they do? Singing in the middle of the street. Actually, this isn't so strange. There are many people like them.
Everyone loves a sing-along, and clearly Vietnamese youths are no different. The group were really welcoming and immediately made Phoebe and I feel at home. Kicking back with a few drinks and friends in a lively environment seems like the perfect way to spend a Friday night.
Well, there's a reason for their openness. These young guys actually come together to do charity. When they told me that they would go delivering food the next day, Jack and I asked to join the trip. Luckily, they agreed. As they told us they would start quite late at 11:30 p.m., we would also have time to discover more about the Old Quarter. Let's cheer them on!
It's really moving to see how kind of impoverished some of these people are, and quite humbling.
The next day's night has come, and I'm now taking Jack to a slightly different feel. He's seen the bustle of the Old Quarter nightlife, but he hasn't seen its tranquility. The Kim Ngan Shrine on Hang Bak Street is the first that came to my mind. Gachu is a type of traditional singing unique to northern Vietnam. It's been regarded as an art with one of the most complicated rhythms in world music. A Gachu troupe contains at least 3 parts: the singer, who also plays the light percussions, the guitar, and the drums.
What I know of Western music is that the tempo and the beat is always set by the rhythm section. So you have the bass guitar and the drums, and they really set the tempo for the whole song or the whole piece of music. Whereas out here, it was the singer who set the tempo and the guitarist, and then the drummer had to follow along to their rhythm. So that was completely different. So I really enjoyed the performance, and especially interested in the bottom guitar, because when I was young and I lived in England, I used to play the guitar myself. It's very difficult and not quite as easy as it looks, but maybe if I practice a little bit more.
Jack, wow, you're playing the guitar.
I know, you wouldn't believe what they taught me while you were away.
Guess what I did when I was away? I changed into the traditional costume.
Nailed it, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so Jack, while the guy plays the guitar, the woman's gonna be the one singing and playing the percussion. So right now I'm gonna be trying out the percussion, okay?
It's my first time getting my hands on them, so I will have to attempt to learn a beat.
Yeah, yeah. Nào.
Yeah, yeah.
Này, này. Tốt lắm. Tốt lắm.
You're like a professional already.
Thank you.
I'd love to know a bit more about the life of a kachu singer and how they prepare for a performance. What do they do the night before?
Đó là chuẩn bị sức khỏe cho tốt và phải tập luyện thật nắm chắc cái phách và thuộc cái bài hát ấy và phải ghép với đàn. Thứ hai là về sức khỏe. Thứ ba là phải ăn uống để giữ gìn và phải tránh quan hệ với đàn ông.
That was interesting. It's a bit like a boxer before a fight.
Exactly.
But it's interesting because kachu is obviously influenced by love. So if you're in love with your husband, or why could you not engage in a loving act?
Thứ nhất là cái nghệ thuật này là nghệ thuật tâm linh. Chúng ta biết tâm linh là nó một cái gì hết sức thiêng liêng. Thứ hai là mình phải thể hiện cái tình yêu ấy vào câu hát, vào cái bài hát ấy thì nó mới đạt được và mới thăng hoa được.
What is your favorite thing about kachu? What do you most enjoy about it?
Giai điệu. Thứ hai lời ca từ ấy. Thứ ba là sự phối hợp của phách, đàn, hát và trống.
So me and Phoebe have had a good little go at forming our own little Vietnamese band. We've had mixed results. I've been suffering from my art. My fingers are about to bleed now, but it's been ultimately a cultural experience, and I look forward to the next one.
After some rigorous instructions, Phoebe and I were finally ready to step up and unleash a kachu ballad. I'll leave it to you to judge the results.
Finally!
Rock and roll.
Now that it's late and the streets have calmed down, we're now heading off to meet our newly formed friends.
Right now we're gonna go meet up with the volunteer group and we're gonna go with them to see, what kind of people they're helping tonight.
Into the community and help the people that.
Was formed in the winter of 2011. The co-founders saw homeless people on the streets and wanted to give them warm clothing. Eventually, turned into a group that gives not only clothing but also foods and necessary supplies to homeless people living on the streets. They know the Old Quarter at the back of their hands. Actually, they know the dark corners of the Old Quarter at night by heart. These places are where the group can find homeless people in need.
Chào cả nhà!
Phoebe and I have already made arrangements to meet Vu, the co-founder of a charity group that tours the Old Quarter,
Excellent, yeah.
bringing food and support for Hanoi's homeless.
Hello everyone. I'm Jack.
Everyone,
Nice to meet you all.
Jack. He's gonna be with us tonight. Bring your helmet.
Hopefully my head will fit into it. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Shall we go?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go and help some people.
Join one of the other ones.
Okay, cool. I'll see you in a minute.
We're now off to find the homeless people in need of help.
Yeah.
During the day, these people work, doing whatever jobs they can to raise small amounts of cash, while at night, they retreat back into the shadows of the sidewalk.
and Vung's charity do a lot of good work to try to help them. They're the only charity that works on a Saturday night to try and bring some small relief to these people. So we're going to go over there now and give Mrs. Mai some water and some steamed rice, and hopefully we can help her get through the night.
We would often have to leave goodie bags right beside the people who were sleeping. But for the people that were awake, we were able to strike a conversation with them. They were open about their personal lives and how they go about making a living.
It's really moving to see how kind of impoverished some of these people are, and it's quite humbling.
Cũng như tất cả những cái tình nguyện viên mà nhóm bọn mình đã đi cùng, mình đã từng thấy cảm xúc của từng người bọn họ khi mà họ thấy được những cái số phận bất hạnh đó, thì Jack không phải là một ngoại lệ. Họ có một cái cuộc sống vô cùng là bất hạnh, và khi mà thấy được cái cuộc sống đó thì ai cũng sẽ có những cái phản ứng như vậy.
I feel quite sad actually. I feel very sad for
Night.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The group hopes to help tens of people in one night. They go about their activities twice a month. Between the sessions, they collect food and clothing donations for the next trip during the night.
Cô xin các con.
Dạ vâng.
Cô thì vẫn cứ hàng ngày với
Bà ngủ đi bà.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the young guys tonight and the great work that they do. I mean, most people their age on a Saturday night would probably be out getting drunk and dancing away, whereas they're not thinking about themselves. They're thinking about people less fortunate than them, and really setting a great example to other youngsters. And like I said, I hope they can be given the tools and the facilities that they need to really make a difference, because I think they've got their heart in the right place.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
When I was coming into the show, I knew the Old Quarter fairly well because I've lived here for a while now. However, I think as an expat, you maybe see one side of the Old Quarter more than another, because that's the side that Vietnamese people want to show to you. So when I was coming into the show, I was hoping that it would give me a flavour of really what makes the Old Quarter tick, and maybe look at the other side of the Old Quarter. And I think it showed me that. I mean, from making a bit of a fool of myself and trying to dance hip hop with the young guys to try and catch you singing, and going out tonight and experiencing some of the extreme poverty. I mean, it's been a real case of the highs and the lows and the twos and the throws. But I feel like I've learnt a lot from it really, and definitely see the Old Quarter in a slightly different light to how I did beforehand.
As Jack and I finish volunteering with I'm now taking Jack to a place that's very familiar to me and tourists during the day, Old Quarter, or the Old Gate of Hanoi. At night, the stone walls seem to illuminate more clearly. The age of the wall is reflected underneath the bright street lamp. Somehow, shadows and light made the solid wall seem more alive in a sleeping Old Quarter.